All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is just getting ridiculous. It's going from bad to worse. The Attorney General in Florida there has just got finished endorsing Trump. Oh boy, Rubio, I've been trying to tell you, young man, but you ain't listening. You are a haughty, prideful, stubborn young man. Anyway, this video right here has a few digressions in it, okay? Let's start off number one. We'll make it back around to the Trump thing, okay? We'll make it around to the professional instigators, all right? But Yale University, there is a young man who is the captain of the basketball team who had a girlfriend. He has consensual relations with her 4 times. And notice 4 times now, consensual, which they both had agreed to. On the day, one day, they had consensual sex earlier that day. 4 hours later, she calls him up, and apparently they broke up. They ended or dissolved the relationship. Now watch this. Now this is on the heels of me doing a video not too long ago concerning the Duke lacrosse team and UVA and all the, the sad situation and things that's getting ready to take place in this world, because nobody's going to believe a woman when she says that she's been violated or when she says she's been raped. And I'm of the mindset that today in America, I've traveled much. I've been to a lot of places in this world, as well as lived outside of this country for quite a few years. So I have a pretty well-rounded view of different cultures other than America. I'm not just totally blinded, nor am I making just blind statements and stuff when I start making statements and comments about America in itself. If women would learn how to carry themselves and learn how to dress, and stop being so provocative, because if you don't want nobody to, make cat calls towards you and carry on, if you don't want nobody to, if you don't want negative attention and stuff, then carry yourself in a way that will not draw attention and change your mind. But anyway, so she, and apparently this captain of the basketball team at Yale, which they just made the college cut. They're going to the NCAA tournament. Yale, first time in, I think, 54 years. But anyway, check this out right here. They had sex earlier that day. 4 hours later, she calls him up and says, hey, I want to come over and spend the night. All right, so she goes over, and she's laying in the bed with him in his dorm room. They're spending the night together. Anyway, they end up having sex again that night, except only one twist to it. She went over there, called him up to go over there to spend the night with him. And watch this. This time sex wasn't consensual. Who believes junk like that? I mean, she just set herself up all the way around. But you know what? The university president, the dean, and a lot of other people believed her, including other people. And you know what's amazing? Is that they've all but ruined the guy's life, because he's got 3 months left of graduation. He's no longer on the basketball team. He's been suspended, and not only that, from school. It sure is making a media firestorm, though, isn't it? I tell you, my. It's a sad thing. It's a bad thing. What's happening nowadays with people? It really truly is. And look at us in the United States of America. We've lost our ability to discern what's right and wrong. And what used to be common now is uncommon, since. But anyway, there are a lot of instigators. And I watched this one video, and it hadn't posted yet. I'll post it up. And of course, this video is probably going to be on the heels of it. But on this particular video that's going to be in front of this video right here is you watch these protesters at Donald Trump's rallies. And I tell you, George Soros and Hillary Clinton have had their hand in the proverbial bag again, or the cookie jar, have been caught inciting these particular protests and stuff. And you know what's only amazing? During Black News, there was a guy that was reporting, and he was at one of these rallies, and he saw a black guy fighting someone, but he couldn't actually see it, so he ran over there because, you know, there's a Black Lives Matter movement that's going on out there. And so he goes over there only to see this black man fighting with another black man at a Donald Trump rally. Well, anyway, stating the facts right here, and mind you, we'll put forth nothing but the facts. You have to understand that when you got a front runner that is despised, scorned, mocked, ridiculed, derided, and chid, defamed, and insulted to the hilt by every single person in the party. I know that Donald Trump sees this, believe me. I know he sees how that the Republican Party, the RNC, the GOP, the grand old party, I know he sees how much that they have total, utterly disdain for him and just literally loathe him and despise him with utter contempt. They do, literally. And you know, it's amazing because I know this man only by what I see on TV. I don't know him personally, but the same fight that he has in him and stuff, I can relate to that. Let me use the word relate. I can relate to this man because if I don't correct that, boy, some of you, woo-wee. And you know what? It's amazing. Let me throw this in there. You know, the Israelites, they know for themselves that I am under no illusion whatsoever at all about this political process, but it sure does make for good theater and good talk, doesn't it? But they know that I'm not deceived like many of you people think that I am. I appreciate many of you concern out there. I really, truly do. But it's a sad situation when you listen to me, you think that I done fell off the deep end and think that I done swallowed up this political process, hook, line, and sinker. It's just utterly appalling and amazing. Of course, again, it's the same thing I've been saying a long, long time ago. You know what I mean? With these GMO foods and stuff, people can't see the forest for the trees and stuff, and they just assume that because I say certain things, or especially in the political arena. Now, I don't operate this way when it comes to dealing in the faith. No way, shape, fashion, or form. But we're having discussions here. And let me get back to the Trump thing here for a second. So anyway, you got these cats, they coming up there, you know, and they're instigating and they're insinuating fights. And as a matter of fact, they're putting forth fights. And I mean, it's getting really heated out there. And I told you, it's all about mind control. Can't you see what I've been saying all this time, all along? That we are a population that has been dumbed down to an unprecedented level. You know, George Orwell, 1984, it was hard to see some of the things that is transpiring and some of the things that are taking place now. It was totally hard to see. If we could have said this what's going to happen in the future, this was going to happen in the future, and this was going to happen in the future, everybody would have laughed us to scorn and said we're literally off our rocker and we have done lost our minds. But now look at it, we all are but here. We're definitely a nation in decline in morality, so that means we're following ancient Rome. And then you got the bootlicker establishment guy, Cruz, coming out and saying, and this is what Cruz is doing. Cruz is saying, well, you know, he's inciting these rebellions and all these people being abused at the rallies and stuff. It comes from the head up. That's politics. You see, in other words, Cruz will say anything that he can in order to try to get whatever edge he can, as long as that camera's in front of him. I still think that the GOP, the RNC, the grand old party, they got something up their sleeves. I really, truly do. I don't trust them one bit. And I'm telling you, with any of these politicians, don't y'all believe one bit that Pastor Dow trust any of them, because I don't. I'm just stating the obvious that is out there and hopefully try to put a defibrillator on our minds to be able to comprehend and understand, perceive clearly what's going on, especially try to see through the smoke. But it's utterly ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous what's taking place in this country. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed how that the Americans are acting like a bunch of banshees. It's a sad, sad situation. But back again where I started this video, man, Rubio, man, I tell you, man, don't you understand that you are literally an embarrassment? But when you go to these Trump rallies and you see people holding up Bernie Sanders signs, Hillary Clinton signs. And then when you watch people on CNN who's supposed to be two Republicans debating each other, and then one of them says Hillary Clinton will wipe you up and smoke you up. Yeah. You know what? The powers that be, they sure know how to control the masses of the people, don't they do it? Well, anyway, I think that Donald Trump, especially if they jack him at the RNC, I think he should automatically run as an independent and get a strong VP. And he'll still win this thing. But I would tell you this, the establishment hates what he's been saying. They feel like they've been betrayed. He's literally done threw them under the bus when you hear some of the things that he has revealed about what goes on in our country. You know, saying things that all of us already knew anyway from a long, long time ago. I mean, it's not so surprised to us, those of us in the know, especially those of us who actually are pretty instrumental in alternative news sources and media and stuff. We know clearly, and we can clearly see exactly what is going on in this country. But some people, they still picking their mouth and teeth up off the ground and stuff because they can't believe that Trump will say some of the things that they're saying, especially the establishment. That's what I believe that all the vets and other people like about him, because he has the gumption and the unmitigated gall to go out there and just say it, whereas they would love to keep it better off said. You know, you can have a whole lot of friends in this world, but they really truly won't be a friend to stick closer than a brother. They'll be colleagues, constituents, and that's about it. Because, you know, again, I said it once, I said it 1,000 times, even in ministry, the average human being on this earth has lived 50, 60 years of their life, and they still do not have one friend that sticketh closer than a brother. And do you know the reason why you don't have any? Because you don't know how to show yourself friendly.